All right, everyone. Have you ever heard the term the sick man of Europe? It's usually used as a colloquial term for the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire had stretched out across the Middle East, parts of Southeast Europe, etc., and had gathered up a huge amount of land. And they had a huge amount of manpower. But they were called the sick man of Europe. And the reason why was that the Ottoman Empire was ailing. They were falling behind their Western European compatriots in terms of technology, military technology, etc., economic output, etc. The British Empire is sprawling across the world at the time. There were actually political cartoons about that. The French are colonizing things. The Ottoman Empire is sort of just sitting there, resting on its laurels. It's sort of going Byzantium mode when you think about it, which is highly ironic. Joe Biden, I would posit, politically speaking, is the sick man of the Americas. That is, while other people are trying to figure out dynamic politics, so they're trying to do the meme thing, they're trying to figure out how can I generate interest and not have to pay money for ads or anything like that. I can just generate organic interest. So they're making mean tweets and things like that. Joe Biden is still stubbornly refusing to do so. He's running a very conventional campaign where he occasionally he's before 1,000 people. Normally it's a few hundred. Number one. Number two, still shelling out huge amounts of money for ads and things like that. Still doing the in-person campaign thing. I even saw posts the other day are like, well, Donald Trump hasn't had a public appearance in 10 days. Joe Biden has made several. Yeah, it's really, that's going to convince a lot of voters. Okay, 5 people joined your cause. That's not the way that modern politics works. A lot of people, they're simply glued to their phones, for example. I happen not to be one of these people. I detest smartphones and only have one to link to my accounts and to make phone calls, basically. And to make pictures. I do have a nice phone. It makes good video, whatever. But, basically that's garden updates and stuff. Joe Biden is keeping with a very standard, like a 90s style campaign. While everyone else has marched forward and now they get all of their news bits and stuff from their phones. They get constant updates and shit like that. You have to be very terse. Like I've said about lies by structure in legacy media articles. You have a legacy media article, CNN or something. It's 5 paragraphs long. The details that you really need to know in order to truly judge the story are down at the bottom, basically, or more stuffed in the middle. Most people only have time to read the title and the subtitle and maybe the first paragraph, and that's pretty much it. You have to be very terse in a low information environment, and this is something that, like Trump with his Truth Social posts, he's embraced. Joe Biden doesn't get it. He'll release there'll be like a page on his website or something that he links to. 90% of people read the tweet. They didn't even go to the fucking webpage. When they went to the webpage, they read the first sentence or something like that. And those are your core fans, so keep that in mind. Joe Biden just doesn't get it. He's the sick man of politics within the Americas. He's a relic of a past era. He's campaigning as though he's still Senator Joe Biden. So it's 1975, 1985, or 1995. He was in the Senate for a while. He's campaigning as though it's yesteryear. He hasn't gotten the memo. There are only a handful, by the way, even of Republicans that understand this fucking concept. They just don't get it. You think Mitch McConnell makes his own tweets? I don't think so. Half the time his hands are so mottled in purple and don't know if he can even operate a phone. No, these people just don't get it. You've got Ramaswamy. Rand Paul knows how to do this. Certainly, like Tulsi Gabbard, somebody like that. Somebody who's younger generally, or simply more intelligent, so like a Donald Trump. And Trump may not make his own tweets all the time either. I mean, some of those posts he delegates to his staffer, I'm sure. And typically he does, but at least he's involved in the process. With Joe Biden, it's basically, hey, hashtag POTUS. That's basically just a campaign page. But you're not campaigning properly. You make the occasional digital message. They're very, very verbose. They're very, very numbing. they're redundant in some cases as well, and it's inexplicable why they think this is a good idea. He's running a campaign like it's 1992. The problem is that it's 2024. It's not the same year, believe it or not. Joe Biden is effectively in the same sense as the Ottomans were towards the end of their reign. It's a person who's in power, but they're ailing. They can't really, and they don't want to relinquish it, they can't really maintain that power because they're just not with the times, so to speak. They're outdated. That's basically where Joe Biden finds himself at the moment. He's the sick man of the Americas, at least politically speaking. He's also a sick man in general on multiple levels, but, that's an entirely different story. The campaign doesn't make sense. You're trying to rely upon legacy media allies to circle the wagons and sort of run interference for you as well. This was a tactic back in the day. Schmooze in with the media, you get the good TV slots, your opponent kind of gets shafted, schmooze with them. Clinton did this. He was very good at it. Bush was actually decent at this most times as well because he was just playing dumb. You get in with the media, and so you get the TV broadcast. You get the radio broadcast and shit like that. And there's no problem. That no longer works, though. That's not where most people get their information from. They're getting it from YouTube or TikTok or something like that. They're getting it from online. They're getting it from people like me. Well, most of us don't like Joe Biden very much, especially because he wants to massively increase the self-employment tax. That's really going to get me aboard, Joe. That's about all. Peace out.